Hey, what's up, everybody? I wanted to talk today about building a base inside of the primary containment facility. So I haven't seen any videos of anybody else doing this ever, and it produces, as you can see, some weird results. So I'm going to talk about some of what I've found by doing this and how I did it. Because once again, I haven't seen anybody else talk about this. So building inside the primary containment facility, one thing that's kind of funny that you notice immediately is that, it kind of thinks that we're still underwater. Look at the moon pool. Obviously, we're not underwater, but we built a moon pool with a water surface as though we were, even though we're a good 1,400 meters underwater technically. We're in a place where we don't need any help breathing. We have all the oxygen we want. And you can see we've built an underwater exterior growing bed. You cannot put interior plants in this, even though, once again, we're in open air. It thinks this is underwater. Um, so kind of a funny little quirk. Inside the base is nothing special. Whoops, nothing special. Incidentally, I'm recording this video on a trackpad and I'm on my laptop. So if the movement's jerky or if it's a little frame ratey, that's what's going on. Um, so yeah, you can see. I mean, everything else is basically normal. Um, Except for where we are. And of course, where we are, the reason you would want to build inside the primary containment facility, I think, should be obvious, which is that you're right in the middle here of everything. I mean, all the warp points. You can get to every part of the map really easily and have a base that's actually central to every part of the map. Of course, you have infinite ion cubes also, extra little perk. Um, and what I've done, which produces some other funny quirks, um, is you can see I've built thermal vents outside. Oh wow, these were. I'm running an experimental version right now. These were formerly always red, like they're good thermal vents. I wonder if these are still producing power now. That'd be interesting to figure out. I think that might be something that's changed with the update, but I'm not sure. Or with the experimental version. I've only just noticed that for the first time. Um, Lighting's funny in here. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, you got all this stuff. So how did I get here? So if you've ever tried to do this, you will know that you can't just build this. You can't just start a base here. So how did I do it? Well, I did it through a weird method that took a bunch of time, but basically, I had to build through this passageway. And what do I mean? I mean that you can see these little base fragments here. Um, I actually built up from inside the from inside the aquarium, from inside the Sea Emperor's aquarium. Um, and I kept some fragments of these bases here without making them structurally sound because it doesn't matter, just for ease of transport. It makes life just a little bit easier to keep them here. Um, so I started building from within the wait, what have I done? I started building from within the Sea Emperor's aquarium, and I built through that passageway like I showed you. And in order to do that, oh, that's where it is. And in order to do that, I had to. The one thing that's really important is you have to get the orientation exactly right. So that's a tricky thing. You have to start a base here, and the orientation has to be exactly correct so that you can exactly build build something. It doesn't matter what, but I think I had to build just basic eye platforms. Build something that will go all the way through that passageway. So I kept this huge stupid structure here just to save a little bit of time going back down to the warp point, because that's where I was coming in and out from. Um, just to show that. But uh, yeah, obviously, I was coming through this warp point, and I was building in here. I was hauling materials from the Cyclops, and I built this giant stupid thing. But I kept building the base from here, so I've deleted a lot of the base at this point because it was a lot of resources that I wanted to use elsewhere. But I had a base that continuously went all the way through this portion, and then all the way up through here where there's this other base fragment to save me a little bit of time, so I'm not going around on the platforms up here. And I kept building, and I kept building, like I said, all the way through here and all the way through here. And this is a hard thing. You have to get the orientation just right, but you also have to get the offset just right. Like, it's actually difficult to build platforms or eye pieces through here. And you can see that the one that I built is centered, so I'm pretty sure that's what I wound up doing. I tried building with platforms instead, and I made a little bit of headway, but then it was just like slightly janky, and it wouldn't build through here. So it takes a lot of messing around, and you may have to restart a base to get the orientation just right so that you can actually build through here. But eventually, if you with a little bit of trial and error, you can do it, and then you unbuild all the stuff that connects it if you want to, and you're left with just a viable functioning base here. And this base is now disconnected and far enough out from where I started the base that it's totally independent, so it has nothing to do with the structural problems of those little fragments over there. Anyway, that's all I wanted to show. It's a great base location, and I have never seen anybody talking about this, and it kind of surprises me. So maybe I'm the only one who's done this. I don't know. Yeah, tell me what you think. Tell me if you have any tips or if you've ever done this before. I'm really curious. That's it, everybody. See you later.